But yeah, so why don't we do this? Why don't we start with, I'll share my screen. And why don't we just settle the timeline quick here? Because every time we adjust into a new phase, I think it makes sense to make sure we're on the right timeline because we are going to shimmy things around here and there. Can you see that?
Yeah, yeah, I'm just pulling it up here as well.
Okay, perfect.
Um, you know what? And that was one of the biggest factors of being consistent with the cut is just knowing that there was an end date. And I know you push that a lot, but actually seeing it on paper and having that documented helped
Dude, yeah,
big time, right?
that's good. That's good. And it is key. I think a lot of people make that mistake of having like open-ended fat loss. And it's like, man, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself.
Every time I tried it, and that's why it didn't work, was because I never had a set date. Like I would just start cutting calories, right? And I'm like, I just want a
Right.
six pack. And then,
Right.
like I mentioned it before, it was always I get to a point where I felt skinny
Yeah.
and I didn't think it was a good thing, and I lost strength, and I
Yeah.
just didn't have that mindset, didn't have anything planned for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was the biggest difference.
No,
And
I totally
so
get that.
that being said, I hit 215.5 this morning. So I
Oh,
mean,
really? Eh?
we're there.
Dude, that's pretty sweet. Okay, cool. So, hang on, I lost you here. There we go. Um, yeah, dude, I would say like overall here, we'll go through it here, but I think like overall that first fat loss was a huge success, dude. Um, there's
Guaranteed.
there's 215. What I'm gonna start adding in here as well, by the way. Um, body weight targets, body fat targets. What I'm gonna start doing is actually I'll take out body fat percentage targets and I'm gonna do so we'll put this guy in there. So basically, we're moving into this guy now. Now, what we wanted to decide, this was definitely a success here, and I'm excited. It's funny how often actually I'm realizing like how many people don't like they actually require like this. Like for most people, they require this. It's fat loss phase, reverse maintenance, hypertrophy, kind of like get calories back up, maintain body fat percentage. That's what we're heading into now. And then they require this second fat loss phase. I think most
Yeah.
people, I think like there's almost like three kind of camps. It's like the first camp, they fail the first one. Uh, and then it's like, okay, well, you failed the first one, so you're kind of screwed, right? They just don't get anywhere close to where they want. And then the
Right.
second camp, they're successful here, and then they fuck this up, the second phase. They have no idea what to do after the diet phase. They're like, just eat what I normally eat or keep dieting. It's like, no, both of those are not good options. Like, so then
Or
they end up,
binge.
yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so that's going back to the way they were, right? So it totally
Right.
screws. And then the third camp is successful, where it's like phase one, phase two, phase three, not perfect, but like going through each phase with the intended objective. So that's what we'll like kind of go through here. Um,
Right.
this is all
But
pretty.
also
Sorry, go ahead.
also having specific goals in terms of training with that align with these phases, right? Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine me going through this cut and I was traveling at the same time too, trying to push PRs and my squat, bench, and deadlift?
Yeah.
It's just not feasible, right? Like I had a lot of injuries that I had to deal with,
Yeah.
and with the training that you provided, kind of like it was more or less bodybuilding
Yeah.
hypertrophy training was
Yeah.
perfect to, explore new range of motions,
Yeah.
do a lot more mobility than I ever had. And now I'm going into the reverse, hoping that we're going to jump into kind of the SBD program
Yeah. Yeah.
with the new calories, right?
Yeah. Exactly, dude. You set yourself up like really well. I think like
Yeah,
I think what you probably was working against you before, and I think you did a good job of rejigging your mindset around this, is like before you head into this fat loss phase, you might have had this kind of expectation in your head, like conscious or not, that you're like, I have to I gotta crush the gym. Like people have this like I've talked about this on the podcast. Like people have this idea when they want to like get lean that they're like, I'm also gonna crush the gym. And you're like, yeah, good. What do you mean by that though? And in their head, they're like, I'm hitting PRs, one rep maxes, I'm crushing. It's like, okay, like effort should be crazy high. So I'm not saying you should go in and do Pilates. That's not what I'm saying here. Like
right.
training should be hard. But this idea that it's like super, super high volume, super high intensity, All of the athletes you see online, whatever their respective sport, you're like a version of them. It's like probably not. Like if you're cutting, like the focus is cutting. Like,
That's all it is. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And
It's like
and
training's
you
actually
can
quite boring.
you can look at our conversation, I'm sure at the start when like we first started this,
Yeah.
I was talking about training and the PRs I was hitting.
Yeah.
And then kind of like redacted from there. I was like, okay, no, this is not the goal, man. I'm not trying to fucking get back to a
Right.
4 plate squat right now.
Right.
Like,
Right.
let's just focus on cutting. Let's
Yeah.
focus on looking better. And to be honest, I was probably the most inconsistent with my training
Yeah.
throughout this phase. And it's not because I didn't have, like, it's not because I didn't want to. It was
Right.
more or less because I was traveling. I was focusing on other things at the time.
Oh, did you lose my video? Hang on. Sorry,
Yeah.
keep going. I think I got it back. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was basically a change of mindset and focusing on the cut. And like I said, I really wasn't, I was consistent with the gym, but it wasn't as consistent as I was before.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my results still speak for themselves, right? Like,
Yeah, 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 dude. I think you're gonna realize too, like hopefully you realize even just from that phase, you realize how much, in a sense, two things are kind of true. Like so much is required of you to achieve what you need, and then equally, it's way less than you thought. You know,
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
like I don't know if you know what I mean, but like it's amazing how much of a new version of yourself you have to become to make physical changes to your physique, while simultaneously everyone over exaggerates in their head what they actually have to do. It's not that aggressive. Like
It's,
you know what I mean? Like you assume it's like
it's
this,
not
this,
that
this,
hard,
this,
man.
this, this, this. It's like, dude,
Yeah,
dial in training, dial in nutrition, manage stress like a gangster. Like you do that and you'll win.
exactly.
You know,
Dude,
like
if anything, it was easier. I had to meal prep way less than I have 2,500 calories than I have to a
yeah.
3,500 calories, right? Like it's simple. It was super simple.
And
But then again, not having that set goal of ending the fat loss, because I know last time we spoke, we were planning on ending the fat loss and doing the reversal. And
yep,
in my mind, I was already there. Like I was already ready to crush 3,000 calories that
yep,
day.
yep.
And when we switched, knowing that we were going to do it for another 2 weeks, having that set in stone that, okay, another 2 weeks, I can easily push that. Like, yeah, my energy's low right now,
Yep.
but 2 weeks is nothing.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Knowing you have an end date too, right? It's like, okay, like I'm gonna get something out of this. It's 2 weeks. What's a big deal, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. No, dude, you handled it like a boss. I'm impressed. And I'm excited, honestly, for when we do go. I'm excited for this phase right now, but moving into the third phase will be super dope. Because we'll
I'm
we'll basically scheme a new version of this first phase.
right. I was talking to my brother last night about this and how I dropped down to 215. And when we first initially had the conversation, you're like, yeah, I want you to drop to 215. I was like, there's no way. I was like, I haven't hit 215 since high school.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel so skinny, so small. And then when I finally hit it yesterday, I was looking at myself. I was like, I could easily cut another
Yeah, dude,
10 to 15 pounds, right?
this is what I'm saying. It's a good example of like self-limiting belief stuff. It's like we have baggage around money, baggage around body weight on the scale. It's like
Exactly.
if
Yeah.
you can just detach and be like, what do I want? Like, and we'll have this conversation more in depth when we gear up for the third phase here, the second fat loss phase.
Right.
When we dip back into fat loss, we'll have that conversation of like, okay, what do you want? It's like, okay, I want a six pack. I want, whatever. Like we'll kind of describe very clearly what you want out of it. And it's good because we just use everything else around it to measure that. Do you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like even like I had this conversation with someone recently because I got down to 172 pounds. That's a little boy weight, right? Um,
Yeah.
but
But
like
it's just a number on the scale.
dude, I literally do not care because
Exactly.
I look better than everyone. So it's like I don't care. I
That's
look
a
better.
win.
Like I
That's a
look
win.
great. I look great. So
Yeah.
it's like, and everyone who asks my body weight, they're all like, "Whoa, what?" Because they all think I'm 195 or something. Because
Right.
when you
Right.
get lean, you look bigger, dude.
100%. Dude, I still fill out a double XL.
Yeah, hell yeah. There you go. There you go. Dude, it's
And at 215, and like I said, like I seriously think that I could have dropped down to 205 and
yep.
still like been
Yep.
super satisfied with the outcome.
Yep. Yep. I think this is a perfect time to cut it, dude. 13 weeks.
Yeah.
I think this is perfect. So let's go into this. So plan this out in the
But
middle.
let's add on to that though.
Yep.
13 weeks, and I was traveling for 2 weeks, not tracking any macros, right? Like
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was a huge win as well, right? And that
yep,
was at the start of
yep.
the whole cut,
Yeah, that
and I
was
was
February. Yeah,
yeah, and that part had me worried the most because every time I go on vacation, I mean, everyone just splurges, right? You drink
yep,
too much, you eat too much.
yeah,
I had as much fun on this trip as I did on any other trip.
yeah,
Like food and booze didn't really
yeah,
make a difference, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
I still
Well,
indulged in both and I still dropped.
dude, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's visually see if we can look where that is. Was it here?
Yeah. Yeah, because I
Yeah,
didn't
so
weigh myself
that was when
once.
you ended up losing weight.
Yeah.
Because
Seriously,
you
yeah.
remember, I forgot you actually lost weight. Because most people after a trip, I'm like, dude, our goal is not weight loss here. Our goal is to practice this kind of forced opportunity, essentially,
Right.
to like kind of ride the waves of like nuance, which most people are bad at. They're usually really
Yeah.
good at like, oh, fitness isn't even a thought right now. I just do whatever I want when I want, or I follow a meal plan perfectly. It's like, okay, both of those aren't that conducive to long-term success. So what do we do?
Right.
That's why I do the macro-intuitive protocol type thing, right? It's like that's why I want to
Yeah.
have these like meals into the mix that are totally untracked. And then if someone has a trip, I'm like, okay, they're all going to be untracked, probably. Like maybe you can track some, but on a trip by default, most people won't track any of them. And they usually freak out. I'm like, no, no, like let's just like give yourself a little more confidence here. Like you're not that bad, right? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
most people, that's what it is. It's a lack of I think you had that too. It's just like lack of confidence in your own skills. Just being like, I don't know how many grams of protein I'm eating if I don't whatever. It's like, yeah, that doesn't actually matter. Like it does long term, sure. Like
For sure. Yeah.
when we zoom out, so from here, January 29th to today, April 30th, you need to track your food for sure, right? And you did. But it's like we can have this gap. Like it's fine. Like in the grand scheme of things, what is that? February 20th, 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks or whatever. It's like
Two and a
that's
half weeks. Yeah.
yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter, dude. And we'll take weight loss. That's a huge bonus. But like, even if you were flat, I'd be like, dude, success. How was mindset?
I was just gonna say that even if I came back 2 pounds heavier,
Yeah.
does it really fucking matter? It was
No.
just 2 weeks, right? Like,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And if someone wants to lose weight on it, then I'm like, cool, then find a way to track. Like you just have to bring your scale and track everything. You know what I mean?
or like you said when I went on the trip, dude,
Yeah.
just stay active every day.
The steps helps a ton. Leaning into
Hundred
steps.
percent,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
100%.
I kind
That's
of
been
go
that's
ahead.
been the biggest game changer
Yeah.
of this fat loss phase, right? Like, yeah, I
Yeah.
always said I walked, 10,000 steps a day,
Right.
and like my work requires a lot of walking. But once you start tracking it and looking into the metrics, it's like you end up slipping on, 20 to 30% of those days. If you can actually hit 100%, 10,000 steps a day, what a difference.
Dude, it's huge. It's so huge. It's
Yeah,
like I think that's how I totally took a break when I was in Barbados in January, and that was in the middle of my fat loss phase. And I took a full break, like deliberately went and was like, I'm not going to track anything. Like I'm gonna really just like keep my steps up, but I'm gonna have some extra snacks. Like I'm totally okay with that. I'm not gonna be that
yeah,
strict. And I ended up losing a couple pounds on the way back and when I came home, and it was literally because I was like that's 100% from how much moving I was doing. It's like
guaranteed. Yeah,
if you can lean into steps, it buys you so much margin room when you're in a situation where you're like, okay,
seriously.
food's a little extra. I got to find a way to soak that up. That's kind of how I look at it. It's like, how are we going to mop up the extra calories? And you just mop it up with
Right.
extra steps. So,
Just burn more calories. Yeah.
yeah, dude, it's simple. Okay, cool. So we're going to call this phase reverse maintenance. Essentially, whoops, we're going to move this into like, essentially what this is like transitioning into some type of specialization phase, which you're motivated to move into a more SBD focused phase. And that's fine. So here's what I typically recommend here, right? If we want to move into a fat loss phase, which we will for you, um, again in the future, I would recommend, depending on trips and stuff, and I think that we already chatted about this. That doesn't seem to be an issue here right now. So what I would say is like, I like 12 weeks as like a default. And I like to give or take 4 weeks. So if someone's like, no, I want to get back into the fat loss phase like sooner than later, cool. Then we push for 8. If they're like, no, I want to like spend some time there for a little while, then we push to like 16. Does that make sense?
100%.
And
Yeah.
we
So
and
that
we
would
can
lead
do
us into,
longer, but
right. That would lead us into the end of summer, basically.
yeah, like here I'll do is this how we all do math now? Or just me? Maybe just me.
Yeah. That's
July
smart.
23rd.
I might use that.
July 23rd. So, yeah, so this does help when you see this, right? It's like, okay, where do I want to be when I'm dieting again? Do you want to be heading into August long weekend? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know. Like what do you think?
But then again, like you said, we can have it set for 12 to 16 weeks.
Yeah,
Come to 12 weeks, start talking about it. And if I want to push it for another 4 weeks, then I push it for another 4 weeks, right? If
sure.
I know I have nothing planned in
Yep.
August and I'm ready
Yep.
for the cut, then we'll
Yep.
jump into it.
Okay, let's do it. This is what we'll say. Okay. Here we'll say 12 plus weeks. We'll have a conversation after 12. I think 12 is like kind of the sweet spot for most people. Um, okay, so body weight target. So we hit 215, right?
Yeah.
So 215.5. Yeah, dude, how dope is that, eh? So
Like
timely.
right on time.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome. Dude, I'm
Yeah.
honestly super impressed. You nailed this.
I'm
So
gonna blame the last 4 pounds on being sick this past week, but it's a
right,
win.
right. It's all good. And I mean
Yeah,
the phase is successful regardless of the number anyway.
exactly.
I
Yeah.
don't give a shit. Dude, this is your first fat loss phase. Like at least running with me, like we're gonna like refine this so it's just like you can literally just push buttons and you can just get a six pack whenever you want.
Right.
Like that's the
Right.
goal, right? It's to like build.
No, so this is my first fat loss phase ever,
Oh,
not
dope.
just with
Okay.
you.
Okay,
I never
perfect.
ran it before. I never cut before, right?
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. And that's good because like blank slate, let's just like build a system from scratch. That's how I look at this. Like
Exactly.
every
Yeah.
time I cut now, it's like I just pull a couple levers and it's like I just go into it. Like it gets easier and easier and easier because that's the approach I kind of take where you're just building a system every time. Most people I think they look at it very negatively and it becomes worse for them in a way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it should get easier the more you do it, not harder. Um, Okay, so here's where I want you. So from this perspective, from like 215, I would love like, we want to put a cap on this as far as like body fat percentage. We're going to use photos to measure that primarily. So you're still going to
Hmm.
track photos. I'm going to watch those on check-ins. You're going to pay attention to how clothes fit as well as when you wake up in the morning. Those are the biggest things. Okay. At night, because food's going to be up, you're going to feel fat. Totally ignore that, right?
Yeah.
It's just when you wake up. Like when you wake up in the morning, you slept well, lots of food, lots of water. That's what we want to pay attention to. Um, so for you, over the 12 weeks, if we did max zero point 0.5, like half a pound a week, I like max. I would love slower than that. Then we'd be looking at like 6-ish pounds. So that's yeah, what I would say, 6-ish pounds on average. I know I said that as a max, but you never know how someone would respond. So if we go plus or minus, so say 5 pounds on the low end. Oh, here. 220 to basically you're at 215.5. So if we go like 6 to 7, so basically like 222-ish.
Right.
This is kind of my targets for you. A lot of people see that and they're like, oh, that's barely any muscle. It's like, yeah, you're not going to build much muscle in 12 weeks. That is true. 100%.
Right.
If you want to be
Right.
250 in this phase, you're going to be fat and you're going to waste
Yeah.
you're going to waste this
The
entire
first cut.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's kind of how I look at it. So, and then cuz here's how this will actually look, right? 13 weeks, 12 to 16 here. This one probably 12-ish, maybe 10, depending on what we want to do here. Third phase. This third phase, I foresee being very similar to the phase I just did with myself. I foresee that being very similar for you. So very aggressive, but like very effective.
So your third phase, did you drop down to the macros of your first fat loss phase and then slowly dropped after that? Like, how did you?
Oh, I just did one. So I literally did 2,500 calories, whatever my macros were. I forget what the exact macros were, but 2,500 calories and then dropped them to 2,300 in the last month. That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't
And
have to change it really
that's
much.
what I like about this. It's so simple
Dude, it's
and
so
it
like
works.
literally. So this is a good example of how it gets simpler. What would I do now for my next fat loss phase? Because I'll cut again for September. I'm just going to drop to 2,300. Probably. Well, maybe
Simple.
not. It
Yeah.
depends on how much I get my food up in the meantime. But
Right.
worst case scenario, I know what numbers to hit. It's like just go right into it, get super hungry, get the fat off, get it done. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like I know
So
where to shoot.
so that being said, like you're pretty much like 12 weeks ahead of me right now, right?
Pardon me?
Or not even, maybe 6 weeks ahead of me in terms of like you've been in the reversal for how long now?
Yeah. 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 About, yeah, 7-ish weeks, 6 to 7 weeks. Yeah.
So how much weight have you gained in those 6 to 7 weeks?
5 to 7, 5 to 7 pounds. Cause
Perfect. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I hit 172 and I was 177 today and I've hit a couple 180s at the peak.
And do you feel the same?
Yeah,
Do you
like
notice it?
I'm a little bit softer, like definitely a touch, but like I still have
Yeah.
veins. I still have veins in my like my low abs.
And better pumps at the gym, obviously, with the
Yeah.
added calories.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I feel good, but I recognize so what you'll probably go through the same thing I'm doing, which is um to be perfectly honest, and everyone goes through this. Like all my clients go through this where you will get probably too flexible and you'll be like, "Okay, I got to tighten up." And that's what I just did. So I started snacking and not tracking, started adding in an extra apple that I wasn't tracking, an extra couple granola bars I wasn't tracking, like all good food that I can digest well, feels good, couple extra 100 calories, nothing crazy. Um, but I started doing that here and there, and then it's there all the time.
And then
And
it's every
then
day.
yeah, literally. So then it's like kind of like
Seriously, yeah.
a couple hundred calories extra every day. And then that's where I'm like, okay, if I keep doing this, this is where I lose the body fat percentage I want. So now it's like tighten up and I'm good. So if I didn't track my body weight, I
Right.
wouldn't have noticed that, right? It would have just kept climbing above 180. And I'd be like, oh, I'm gaining weight. Yeah, none of that's muscle, dude. You're just getting fat. Yeah.
Right.
So you're able to catch it. So for you, um, right, for you, it's going to be like 220 to 222. I expect this spike to be pretty quick, like boop, bump right up to probably you're 215. So like probably like jump up to like 218, yeah, yeah, somewhere up here. You'll be somewhere up here, like really
Right.
fast. Do you want to see my scale? Like this is
Yeah. Yeah. Might as well show it. Yeah.
yours will look very similar because it typically most people's looks like this. So this is my all-time low, 172. I guess I'm coming up on 2 months now. So 172 here, and then I hit 180, 180. Yeah. April
In a
20.
month, basically.
So a week ago. Yeah. So pretty aggressive. And
Right.
right after here, so 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, this is when I started to notice, okay, I look great. I have a six pack, but I'm not as lean now. I was literally holding it this whole time here. So now I realize I'm like, okay, if I keep going, I'm going to lose it. So you can see me correcting here. Does that make
Right.
sense? Yeah.
And yeah. And what was your calorie jump from your fat loss into your reversal?
I jumped 500 calories. So I went from 2,300
Okay.
to 2,800. And now I'm at 3K. Yeah. So we won't talk about that on this call, but I'm going to set that up for you and send it over.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yours will be a big jump too. We just put you right up to maintenance right away.
Perfect.
Which is why you spike so quick, right? That's why, because your body just influx of food, glycogen, water, salt, right? So,
Yeah.
um,
It's basically an extra meal a day.
yep, yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. And yeah, so this is kind of what I expected. This isn't necessarily written in stone, but this is a guide for us. We'll continue to watch at the rate you gain. I don't want to see like I would say honestly like zero point 0.4 to zero point 0.6 pound per week. Whoops. Like that's what I would say. That's what I'm gonna kind of look for, I think.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think that's what I kind of look for a lot of folks is going to be like half a pound. The bigger boys, half a pound per week. Smaller people, like a lot of my females, would be like closer to half a pound a month. On average, they're going to
Okay.
spike fast, right? You're going to spike fast, but then it'll peter out. So that's kind of the idea. So this is kind of what we're looking at as far as numbers, dude. It's going to be very, very simple. Um, and then just so you have an idea, what this looks like, right? Is this is our second phase, reverse, 12 to 16 weeks. Move into a fat loss phase, pull the trigger. This will be super aggressive. This will probably be closer to 10 to 12 weeks. This is where this fat loss phase, this is where you're going to have some fun because you leveled up in this first fat loss phase, which is exactly what we wanted. But we poured some concrete, laid some curb, maybe got some of the framing
Hmm.
up. But like this one is where we put in the crown molding, you know? Like this is the finish. This is where we're putting in the screws at the exact line we want. Like everything needs to
The,
be.
right. This is what I basically hired you for was this third phase, right? Like, you know what I
Essentially
mean? Because
setting.
like that's
Yeah,
because I seen you cutting down. I seen you during that phase. I was like, that's what I fucking want.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then when
We're
we started talking about it, you're like, oh, this is gonna be on the second fat loss phase. I was like, what are you talking about? You're like,
yeah,
yeah, we're gonna run one, do a
yeah.
reversal, and then run another. I'm like, makes more sense.
Dude, most people, I literally had this conversation with a client this morning where I'm like, everyone thinks they just lose fat and I look awesome. It's like more than likely, like you actually are a decent candidate to do this if we wanted to, but the vast majority of people can't because they don't have nearly enough muscle. So you have enough muscle that
Right.
we could make the justification for you just running one full fat loss phase. I think this is your first fat loss phase ever. I think we played it perfectly, laid the foundation. Also,
Yeah.
like it's like dipping your toes in the water when you've never been in an ice bath. It's like, okay, and I know how cold it is now. I touched it. Like I'm good. I know what this is now.
Right.
So it's better because then it won't freak you out as much. You kind of know exactly what you're in for. And you can kind of get
But yeah.
you can get a little bit like more hyped up for it. And this gives you a mental break. Like obviously you like training, you want to be jacked. You already carry a lot of muscle, but it's like, why don't we like integrate some lifestyle stuff into this? That's what this phase is for more flexibility. And then you're gonna like, I find most people, myself included, the flexibility ends up like resensitizing you mentally to the fat loss. Like you'll right now, like, you're excited for this phase. When you get to the end of this phase, you're gonna be like, I can hardly wait to be hungry. Like you will. You'll
Right.
be like, I'm so
Yeah.
fired up. Like, let's get shredded, dude. And that's the goal. It's like the problem is everyone stays here. They don't get excited. Everyone stays here and they don't get excited. It's like you got to flip. You got to strategically flip where you want to be, because it's not just better physiologically and hormonally to actually get the physique you want because it's all building, but it's also mentally like a lot more, I think, sustainable.
Or they'll flip too quick in between both.
Yes.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like trying to run
Yeah.
a cut for 2 weeks, then
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
switch to the reverse, and then go back
Yeah.
to the cut and then do
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
reverse.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly, dude. So this is kind of like how this will look is like this will be 10 to 12 weeks for the second fat loss phase here, the third phase. And then this reverse maintenance, this will likely like this could very well be like 24 weeks plus. Like it might be less,
Right.
but this will probably be, we'll probably build out a massive periodized like training program with like, hey, we want to gain, 8 to 10 pounds of lean mass type of thing. Like
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
aggressive. You know what I mean? Big
Yeah.
runway, big runway. So
And,
that's,
and you know what? It aligns with training again. Like I want to push the SPD this time around. I'm not going to go to my full potential just yet because I have some injuries that I'm dealing with.
yeah.
But us working through those injuries while doing this cut, and then we get to that fourth reverse, or sorry, the second reversal, the fourth phase,
Mhm.
then we can really push the weight.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yep. And think about it. Every single time, like you're going into this phase now with low body fat. You're going into this phase with more muscle. You're going into this phase with less body fat. Like each
Right.
phase, you know what I mean? Like it's more muscle, less fat,
Yeah.
more muscle, less fat. And
Yeah.
you just keep going back and forth, back and forth. And that's how we get the actual final look that we want. It's like the analogy is the house or anything really, but like the house is a simple one. It's like if you constantly are in, if you just keep framing a house, it'll never get cupboards. Like you have to move on to the next phase. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if you just stay in one phase, you'll never actually get there. And that's what a lot of people end up. I think they end up just like digging a foundation forever, and it's like at some point you got to actually put up the studs. You got to
You got to
drywall.
build. Yeah.
You got to build the freaking house. Like,
Yeah.
but everyone, there's just a lot of mental stuff around that, or people just don't know what to do. So that's where just guiding you through this, I think, is super key. So does this make sense? This is what, or here, does this make sense as far as numbers for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're guiding, by the way. These are guiding. These are never written in stone. We always are open to tweaking things as we go. Obviously,
Right.
blueprint tab here. So I'm going to be filling this out for you by tonight. So that'll come over to
Yeah.
you, and you'll be good to go as far as like the food stuff. And I'm just going to fill in basically our objectives here as far as like what we want to do. You have a good idea of what that basically looks like. It's mostly around like from a physique standpoint, it's around lean muscle. Um, that kind of slash like metabolism, really, really important to like upregulate metabolism. Like the goal is really to get you to eat as much as possible while not putting on fat. That's kind of part of the goal here.
Right.
And then the social slash mental goal of like we got to eat more food. Like we can't just be starving robots all the time. Like you value travel, you value social lifestyle stuff, so do I. So it's like how do we integrate looking dope with that? Well, this is how you do it, you know? So
It's
because like
so easy.
it's way easier because it's like, yeah,
It's
you
so
got to
easy. Yeah.
say you're gonna have to say no at certain points. But if you say no to everything your whole life, like no one really wants to do that. That's not really a good trade-off. But I can say no for a short period of time while I'm doing a fat loss phase. Like that's fine. Like I have no problem with that trade-off. But if I have to say no to everything all the time, like just to look fit, nah, like not worth it.
Not worth it. Yeah.
So so let's get out of this. So let's go through this, dude.
Give
Okay.
me a sec here, Tim.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll just duplicate this. One, two, four.
All right.
Let's kick it.
Can you hear me?
What's that?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. We're good.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so let's build her out, dude. So, are you good with this split still from a scheduling perspective? Four days a week?
Yeah, absolutely. The only thing I was gonna maybe add in, I was thinking the other day, I was like having almost that extra fifth day for weeks that I could do an extra session,
Yep. Yep.
and it could
Yep.
just be like strictly arms. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Because it's easy to recover.
100%.
Obviously, want bigger arms
Yep.
always.
Yep.
So I'm like, we just throw that in the mix. I mean, there's some weeks where especially when I'm working, right, and my recovery is good, I can
Mhm.
easily throw a fifth session in.
Dude, 100%. Yep. I kind of have a similar thing with mine as well. So that makes perfect sense. We'll do that. We'll do that one last.
Yeah,
Okay, perfect. So let's build this guy out. So, um, okay, so your goal here with training, right? From a personal perspective, you want to develop strength, top end strength on SBD
yeah,
while building lean tissue. Because, and to be honest, in my opinion, the best SBD program actually has very heavy hypertrophy kind of bodybuilding aspects. I think if we do weight
right.
barbell work, it doesn't even really, there's like very quick diminishing returns, in my opinion. With barbell work, it's like you don't need a ton, you just need enough, and then you need to build tissue up. Like I think
Exactly. Yeah.
more people would get stronger if they just got more jacked, really.
If they weren't a bitch during their accessories, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, exactly. So like I'll kind of go through and kind of show you how I would set things up. Obviously, you want to keep back squatting in, and I know that that's been a big focus for you too. You have your current mobility routine feels pretty good before this. Like I know that you're coming out of a hip thing, right, or a low back thing, but it's like,
I honestly would relate that to just being sick or getting sick
yeah,
at that time. Looking
yeah,
back at it,
okay,
um, yeah, squats have been amazing this past, well, the entire cut phase. So
okay, okay.
we'll keep
What
pushing
was
that.
okay? Are you pretty calm? Because we didn't use this last time because I just wanted you to build a foundation, and you know, it was one of those where I'm like, I'm good if you want to auto regulate, but are you pretty confident with using RPE?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, perfect. So
That's what I was using for my last prep. It was
that's
all
what I
bit
figured.
RP based. Yeah,
Okay, perfect. Because we'll use a lot of RPE, and if there's here's the thing. So I'm a fan of RPE, but I'm also a big fan of using like hard numbers or percentages, especially in situations where if you're getting into your head about stuff. So if you're like,
Right.
if RPE is messing with you on certain lifts, like for instance, with me, RPE is really hard with squats because it's my low confidence lift. Excuse me. So what
Fair enough.
RPE, I can be like, was that a seven? Was that a nine? Do I have a little bit more? Am I just being a bitch? Was that a like? So sometimes it's better for me just to be like, yeah, I just got to hit a number today. Like I can have a range, sure, right? So there's some
Right.
flexibility there still, but having hard numbers is better for me on certain lifts. So as long as you
Uh,
can just keep me posted with that, then
yeah.
we can make adjustments if we need to.
That'll be really dependent on my schedule too. I know on night shift, I kind of want to dumb my training down as much as possible. And it's just like,
Yeah.
look at my training schedule. I have to squat 405 today. That's what I'm hitting. Even if it
Yeah.
feels like an RP 10, it's probably not, but it's just
Right.
because I don't have that mental capacity to even judge what an RPE 7 would be that day.
Well, and keep in mind too, I know exactly what you're talking about. Just keep in mind, RPE is does like it is meant to be like naturally accommodating for that day. So if you're wrecked,
Right,
like if you're wrecked and 405 feels like it's 505, like that's RPE 10 that day or whatever. Like
right,
that
right.
is literally what it is. It's just
I get,
sometimes.
I guess how I would say it is, yeah, I would tend to pull back more on night shift than other days, right?
Gotcha, gotcha. Like almost like that's your like I'll be a pussy prone to being a pussy type thing.
Pretty much,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Good. Like you can convince yourself it's RPE 10 when it's actually an 8 type of thing.
exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
That's why I
gotcha.
like a concrete number on those days. Like,
Okay,
because
okay.
I could come out of the session, I know I'm recovered. I know I can hit that
Yeah.
number, but
Yeah.
I'm telling myself it's a 10 when really it was a
So
7.
why don't we do this? Put a bookmark in that. You hold yourself accountable by sending me video and or just sending me text during those sessions or after.
Right.
Like just
Yeah.
bouncing it off me to be like, okay, this is what I hit. Like almost like you're talking yourself through it like a diary. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you send
Yeah.
videos, that's even better, obviously. Um,
And yeah, I definitely want to do more of that, and that's why I love the SPD because to me it's like the best way you can calculate your strength and your progress on those three lifts,
right, right.
and just keep myself accountable by filming them too, right? And
Yep,
actually watching the footage.
yep, yep. Dude, I love it. Okay, let me we'll revisit that as we go then. Just keep me posted.
Yeah,
And videos will be even more important here as you can get more, obviously. So I'm a big fan of this, especially starting here, is literally working up to one top set.
yeah,
So you'll still have your working sets ramping up, right? Does that make sense? But and
yeah.
you can track a couple of them if you want. All I care about is tracking that top set, whatever that is. Okay. So for you, where I want to start is I want to start you at 8 reps. I'm gonna put this like whatever, but you literally just take whatever rest you need.
Right.
Realistically, you're gonna need a lot more. So really, what you're gonna do is just ramp up to a top set of 8. How we're gonna do this too is it's going to be relatively light. So like a true like 4 reps in reserve. You know what I mean? 6 out of 10
Yeah.
RP. So that should still be like heavy. Um, like you can't cruise through that. But it should give us a lot of like room to run now for the next few weeks because I'm just gonna like wave load this. Do you know what I mean? Like we're just gonna
Exactly.
add
Yeah.
I'm just gonna add like a point of RPE every week basically on
Yeah.
this. Um, and then what we'll do is we'll move you into like a kind of like a deload, low stress week. It won't be that easy, but it will pull back a little bit on intensity on like the week on week fives basically. Like every time we move into
Right.
a week one or whatever, we may
Yeah.
choose to extend some of these. Like if you're like I'm squeezing the juice out of this, that wasn't that hard of a like that week 4 wasn't that hard. It's like okay, cool. Let's just repeat that week. Like I've done that in the past.
Right. Right.
And
And
then
also based on schedule, right? Like we might plan my deloads on night shift.
yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
might be a default
Or the week
planning, right?
4 falls on that, and you're like, oh, that's the worst timing ever. It's like, okay, just hit that again the next week. Like whatever. I'll
Exactly.
give
Yeah.
you week
Yeah.
1 after. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so how was your hips with the leg press?
It helped it immensely, man.
It did, eh? Okay.
Because I can easily push. Like obviously you don't have so much external sorry, you got more external stability there, right? So
Yeah,
I can
yeah, yeah,
easily,
yeah.
widen my feet, bring them down lower so my knees travel over my toes.
Okay. Here's what I'm gonna get you to do. We're gonna do you have bands, access to bands by chance?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you done banded leg press?
I started last week after watching your
Yeah.
video
Okay, okay.
of being lazy,
Dude,
not
it's on
wanting
it,
to
but
add plates.
it feels
Seriously,
so
it's
good too. Like it's I
100%. Yeah,
my legs feel awesome. I just get the consistent tension. I love it.
exactly.
So
Yeah,
just I don't care what the band tension is, but whatever band tension you set up, can you just make sure it's consistent? So it's the same. Like,
right. Yeah,
so whether it's the reds or the greens or the purples, I don't actually care as long as it actually makes it harder, number one. And number two,
yeah.
you do it the same every week. So
Every week. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Because what we'll do here is we'll do banded, and then we're gonna start you at 12 at 8. So pretty hard sets, but you only got two top sets here. You'll
right,
probably need decent rest here. On all these heavy ones, like basically take as much rest as you need.
right.
Um, and this will obviously be um, one, three working sets here. And then what I want to do here, probably not going to do as many supersets with you here, because I'd rather use that time to actually rest. Um, so here's what I would love to do. Did you like the dumbbell? Well, did you like the RDLs?
100%. I sent
Yeah.
you that message basically saying if you get rid of them, I get rid of you.
Yeah. Well, here's what I was gonna say. How do you
Because the
feel about
trade-off's
like?
so good, right?
How do you feel? They feel so good. I'm gonna go do them after this call, actually. Um,
Yeah,
the how do you feel about moving to a barbell?
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, because
Yeah,
let's switch it out and then just for some novelty there, because I want some type of hinge like this, which would be good. The nice thing
yeah.
about you can load these pretty heavy too. Like obviously dumbbells you can too. Um,
But
and
it's also going
then
to translate into my deadlift too, right?
oh yeah, yeah,
Which is a
100%.
big factor. Yeah.
Yep, 100%. So we're gonna keep these pretty consistent. I'm gonna start you same thing basically. So it'll be 12 at 8, 2-ish minutes. You'll realize too, like with this, now that we're really trying to push, I almost do sometimes less volume when someone's in a push like this, when the food's up, because now we can push intensity higher. So it's like
Right.
you like, especially on a lower body day, like we might do one or two more moves and you're good. Like if you put everything you can into the ramping sets to hit these top sets. So top set here, basically warm up to too heavy, warm up to too heavy. We'll figure out what to do here. It's like you should be pretty spent, you know?
Right.
Because the intensity should be pretty good. The first week, not as aggressive, but like definitely weeks 3 to 4 for sure. These are seated leg extension and then glute bridge. So we're still gonna need something. Here's what we need. We need some unilateral work. So what I would love to do here, and I know that you might have questions because you that's part of what you wanted to know here. So how I'm kind of looking at this is like, okay, barbell squat, bilateral axial loading barbell work, right? Then we have leg press, so no axial loading, but we still have bilateral kind of squat pattern type thing, externally
Mhm.
stabilized. Then we have basically a deadlift variation, bilateral again, and we can load it pretty heavy because it's barbell. So then I'm looking here and I'm like, okay, so first of all, by default, everyone should have some type of unilateral lower body work, but with the way that your hips are, 1000% we need single leg work. Like
For
I'm
sure.
almost
Yeah.
I'm almost curious, and here we'll probably honestly what I might do is literally this, dude. That um I might get you to experiment with this. So 3 sets, 15 to 20 reps. Just make it hard. And 3 sets per leg. So your glutes should be pumped.
Right.
If you do this before a squat and you do your couch stretch stuff, I think you should be feeling pretty good.
So I was just gonna say, as soon as you were talking about taking that workout out, I was like, I was gonna throw that into my warm up
Okay,
because
perfect. Okay,
yeah,
perfect. So we'll
because
just
it
leave it there.
helps so much, right?
It helps me too. Huge. Because like
Yeah.
I find my hip flexors and knees get really cranky on squats. And I'm like, if I just pump my glutes up and then I go into squats, everything feels way better.
Yeah.
Um,
That was the biggest difference in my warm up is I started adding more core and warming up the glutes.
yeah, we're pretty dialed in there, I think, right now, which is
Yeah.
good. I don't know why this isn't coming up. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I want this. Actually, you know what we want? We want this guy. So this will be good because you get a really good, you see this? You get a really good with the front foot. I
Yeah.
don't know if you've done front foot, but with this, you get a wicked stretch on that front hip flexor. Just make
All
sure
right.
when you do these, you ease yourself into the bottom because you get such a good stretch along the front of the quad and the hip flexor that it can hurt depending on how tight you are.
So on that workout specifically, are we going knees behind toes, or am I pushing kind of
Good
like in
good question. So I think with this, we make it hip biased. So knees
right?
behind toes. Yeah, just because with you, I don't think you're already a squatty or sorry, a quaddy squatter. Like you use your quads a
Yeah, for
lot.
sure.
So
Yeah.
I think and you're already going to be hitting quad heavy here. Very hip biased from a mobile perspective, but like your quads are going to be doing a lot of the work here just by default. And I know that this is hip focus as well. This is going to be more quad just because you're a very upright squatter. So that's where
Right.
I think with this, we don't make it quad biased. I think you do, I
Right.
think you would do better if
I like it. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it's hip bias. So again, I'm not going to superset this. Go like you're probably going to need 2 minutes here. I say we start you off 2 sets. And then as far as I want to keep, let's start the volume high. So the dumbbells will actually be quite low. And then around a 7. So that'll give you some room to kind of like figure out kind of the movement.
Yeah.
Um, and then go from there. And then you're not. So if I had a choice here, because I usually like having one of these guys in, some type of like hamstring machine or some type of quad extension thing. I don't think we need this. I think for you, we're going to get more bang for our buck on extra hamstring work.
I was gonna say I personally would pick quads because I love doing extensions,
Yeah,
but I need the curls
that's what I think. Like
than
I know
more
the
than anything.
extensions
Yeah.
are super fun and we'll definitely have them in there, but I do think for you it's
But
like
it
if we go glute and hamstring, I think your hips will just be like love it way more.
100%. And the other thing is I can use that as a warm up, the
Yeah.
extensions if
Oh
needed,
yeah.
right?
Yep,
Like,
100%. Yep, 100%. I do that. I do that quite a bit sometimes,
yeah.
especially at like sometimes adductors as well. So here's what I'm going to get you to do here, dude. This is going to be fucky. So we haven't done any density work yet, but I think have you done like myo reps or density or rest
I've
pause?
tried it. I've tried it before, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So like I do them kind of like I don't know if you've done them this way. This is just how I've done them. 12 to 15 reps to start. Then here we want to go 5 to 8 reps. Repeat times you want to go this probably because we want 5 total sets, so 3. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
that should be 5 total sets because you have the activation, then three set of 5 to 8, and then 3 more sets of 5 to 8. So 5 total sets.
Yeah.
So and then your rest should be 30 seconds. If you kind of get set up here at like the 24, 25 second mark, you should be perfect.
Nice.
And then your excuse me, your progression on all of these, I'll even put this here, is going to be add weight. Whoops. And what I mean by intensity, you're still aiming for basically every week. But if it's not there, it's not there. It's all good. Um, but why I say intensity is because if you if you're able to hit, it's not like actually technically a progression. I'm almost looking at it like uh kind of like we're just trying to like almost like force stimulus in a way, which I don't know, some people might not like that, but I think it makes sense. It's like here's what I mean in practice. You do a set with 3 plates on squat for a set of 8. Then you come back next week and you're like, "Holy shit, this feels heavy." It's like that's fine if you hit it and it's actually like a heavier intensity, but you weren't able to add weight. We'll kind of take that as like an uptick forward.
For sure. Yeah.
That doesn't actually mean we're getting better, but I think that decision makes us better down the road. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah.
that is the stimulus that 7, 14, 21 days from now, that will actually matter. Even though you're like, damn, like I hit 3 plates and it usually feels like a 6 RP. It felt like a 7 or an 8. It's like that's fine. That stimulus will actually be the reason we're able to add more next week or three
Right.
weeks. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, and that goes back to my training session last week when I started squatting. The squats felt really good, but like I was telling you, had issues with my neck. So I ended up dropping, I think it was 100 pounds, but
Okay.
then I PR'd my leg press
Yeah. Yeah.
that day, right? So it's like just switch the intensity to the next workout,
Yeah.
make that one.
Yeah. 100%, dude. And the thing is too is like you'll look at it just like data, like very similar to the scale. Like if the scale plateaus, that's just information. So if we have a
Exactly.
situation
Yeah.
where you're like, dude, it's been 3 weeks, I feel like grinding to a pulp and I cannot squeak out PRs. I just feel like I'm stuck. That's emotionally frustrating, but it's like that's valuable information. Like that's good.
For
Like
sure.
that and that
Yeah.
will happen. So it's like that's fine. Just let me know when that happens. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll make tweaks. Like it's all good. Like it either way
Yeah.
we win, right? Um, so with this, I want to hit this twice. So you're gonna do your
Okay.
density set here. You just do it twice. You'll probably have to take a pretty good like actual rest, like 5, 6 minutes probably,
Right.
because you'll be pretty toast. But realistically here, dude, like don't count this guy necessarily. Although I guess you could. But 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 working sets across really like 5 exercises, kind of six. Um, you should be pretty good here. Plus that mobility warm up, I think you're cooking with this.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. What are your thoughts? Do you have any questions on it?
Not at all, man. Like
Yeah.
I like how we're programming it just because we know I have hip issues. So like my warm-up's gonna be really like hip based, glute
Yeah.
based,
Yeah.
core,
Yeah.
jump into the big work and then focus on those hips again
Yeah. Yeah.
towards the end,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. 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 And what we have here is like it should be pretty like all of these concurrently should help with hip stability, strength in all the muscles around the hip
Yeah.
for performance reasons, not just functional reasons, but also then the last goal will be the mobility and the actual function. Like I think you should just feel better from all this, right?
Yeah.
Um, okay, let me save that. And then oh, so I can't because you train different every day, right? Or sorry, every week your days will be different depending on when you train.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, because I can program a progression in here for you, but unfortunately I can't unless it's scheduled into a specific day. So what we'll do, um, uh, here's what I'm gonna say. Um, I'm just gonna make a note here for it. So basically add, does that make sense? Because I can't put it in
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Like this week, for instance, I was supposed to do legs on Monday,
okay.
but I was still having hip issues, so I ended up doing the chest day. I'm doing
Yeah.
legs today, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah, and
it's definitely all over the
that's
place. Yeah.
That's totally fine. So as long as you can see this, like for week 2, you'll see this and you'll be like, oh, it's week 2. I got to hit 8 at 7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go here. The only thing is we might rejig this around since we have more. Um, like I think for you, we go day 1 squat and legs. I think we go day 2 bench and upper, or at least bench and chest.
Yeah.
Like I don't think we deadlift right after is my point. You know what I
Definitely
mean?
not after a leg day. Yeah. Yeah.
Like
What I like about
we
that is I
could,
can start
but
the week off. Yeah, yeah, we could, but
I don't think
I don't think
so.
we'll see the progress we want to see. Um,
No.
I like having the squat, then the bench, or the bench and then the squat days back to back at the start of the week because I can just hammer out 2 sessions Monday, Tuesday in an ideal week, right?
Say that again, sorry.
Basically, I like having like what we're doing is we're gonna do a squat then a bench day, and they can easily do that within. I don't need to rest in between the two
Yeah. Gotcha.
workouts, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I can easily start my week off Monday, Tuesday. I'm doing squats and then chest the next day, rest Wednesday,
Perfect.
and then back day on Thursday.
Perfect. No, this makes more sense. I'm looking at it. I'm like, we're not going to want to do it like that. So this will be the same progression. So let's get some bench
Actually,
up.
on that note though, when you say add 1 RP per week for the entire block, I'm working up. So I start off at a 6 RP, next week 7, the week after 8. Do I drop back 6 after that? Or are we going right to a
Or you cut out at the end there.
hello? Yeah. So basically, what I was getting at is like we start off at a 6 RP, go
Yeah.
to a 7, go to an 8. Do we just continue to the 10?
Yeah.
Or sorry, not yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to get you to put like, because some of those you'll hit before too. So here's what I would do is like, again, I would have put this in specifically, but it just won't let me do it unless we schedule it. So what I would do is if I'm starting you at, if I'm starting you closer to RPE 10, like RPE 8, um, take that slower. So it's like you might hit RPE 8 twice for 2 weeks. That's fine, right? Maybe you still add some weight though, right? But keep the RPE around the same. Um, but
Yeah.
like something where you're at an RPE 6, like go ahead and add weight next week because we got room to run, right? I gave you a longer run.
Right. Right.
Because like I would push, you might not end week 4 at RPE 10 on everything. That's fine. But the goal is to get everything near there. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
That's what I would say. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you only got to do it for 1 week. It's like 1 week, send it, you know?
Right. And then deload. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And it's not like I think sometimes in people's heads too, they're like we don't need every week 4 to be this crazy week 10 or RPE 10. Like truthfully, I don't see your squat being a true RPE 10, but I see it being heavy. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a good
It's not a meet every 4 weeks.
no, so a good exactly. So a good example here. I'll give you an example. So squat could look like this. So this is like week 1. Then it's like week week 3, and then 375 times 8, and this could be like at 9. Meanwhile, this was at
Right.
6. Does that make sense? So this
Yeah.
that's kind of how that could go. And you could have hit this and been like, you know what? I'm fucking good there. Like I'm not gonna push 395 today. I'm gonna just wave this for the next be patient and just play the long game
For
here.
the next block. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But if you're feeling good, go ahead. But I
For
think,
sure.
but
Yeah.
I think like the goal is basically for like uh your week 4 and 5, depending on how long we want to run each block for. Week 4 and week 5, I have it scheduled right now. Like this first one's for week 5, just to get us onto a monthly cycle. So you have 5 weeks, so you do have a bit more runway with this first block.
Right.
Um, but I kind of see it that yeah, that like basically at the end of each block you see what's there for each exercise and you just take what's absolutely there. There's no saving yourself. Like go ahead and just send whatever you got that day, you know?
Right.
So um and then yeah, okay, so this will be bench here. So and there's some good variations that I really want to see. We're just going to throw in like literally conventional standard everything. So you're going to hit regular barbell squat, regular bench, but we will get you to pause this just because you
Okay.
have, you still have the competitive blood. So
Right. Right.
I would just do that by default, pause
For
everything
sure.
standard bench. Um, and then we'll do conventional deadlift as well. And then what we'll do is we'll probably wave these into variations is what we'll do. And then we'll come back to these.
So basically,
Um,
work up to a top set and then kind of have like, say, if I'm benching, would you program that as I do my top sets flat bench with pause and then drop down to say like a spottle press or whatever after that?
what do you mean?
So like, would you start? So say we put flat bench in
Yep.
competition bench.
Yep.
Would you work up to a top set and then after that top set, basically drop down to like an RPE 7, then like hit a spottle press or pause bench, a longer pause bench? Is that how
Some,
you usually program it?
something like that. What I've been doing more recently is like so if you're in competition prep, I would do more benching. I don't think you need a ton of benching. What I would say is something like this. So I would go right now, literally one top set, which I know is like pretty low volume, but at the same time, you got to consider that you're gonna have ramping working sets there, right? So
Right. Yeah.
realistically, like, I don't know, what would you hit for a set of 8 on bench ish for like RP 7?
Right now, probably 275.
Okay. So paused 8 at 7. So with this, and actually, you know what? We'll start you lower because we do have 5 weeks to this anyway. So I'll give you a little extra
Yeah.
runway. You got to keep in mind, it's like you're going to hit 2 plates, then you're going to hit 245, then you might hit two. You might even get a little nervous and hit 265 just to make sure. You know what I mean? So you're going to get
Right.
some stimulus beforehand. I kind of look at this like this is more of like we're going to build a bit of strength here, and we should. But really, it's like I want to build a lot of it with the shit right here.
It's
So
more technique based, is what
yeah,
you're
yeah,
saying. Yeah.
and more of like an expression of the strength we're building. So
Right.
because I think everyone goes ham here, and it's like that's great. That's just expressing all of the strength we're building here. So here's a good example of what I would want to do is um uh yeah. So actually, dude, here's how we're gonna do it. You ready to have some fun? Check
Yeah. Let's
check
do it.
check this out. So you're going to do density set on bench. So this is your top set.
Yeah.
So you'll feel really good after this, barely spent, but a good pump, feel snappy. And then you're going to go into this activation. And this is where it's just about accumulating volume. Like
Right.
just get messy, right?
Right. Right.
Um, and then 5 to 8 reps, times 3 more sets. So 5 total. And then your goal with progressing those, by the way, is going to be more total reps done or add 5 pounds. That's really it.
Okay.
Right. So if you can squeak out
Okay.
one extra total rep out of all 5 of those sets, you're winning. Right.
Right.
With the same weight. So, because that's what I'll do with these is I won't aggressively add weight. Sometimes I'll keep the same weight for 2 months. And all I'm doing is like squeaking out an extra rep here and there. Like every week or
Right.
two,
Right.
if I can get one extra rep. Like
Right.
it's just accumulation. Here we want to see weight go up. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
That's
And
kind
that's
of
what I
how.
like about that's what I like about programming something like this is like you really push the intensity on the first set of your
Yeah.
bench press, and
Yeah.
then we're dropping down, and the intensity is still going to be there, but it looks different. We're
Yeah.
not
Yeah. Yeah.
pushing.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not trying to increase the weight.
Yeah, exactly. This is like relative intensity. So it's like
Right.
it's gonna be actually be way harder, but you don't need to be married to the weight here. You can just be like, I'm just going for that like that Ronnie Coleman like meathead bodybuilder pump. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what you're looking for here. We still want
Yeah.
we want the technique of a powerlifter though, because you are benching, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you'll like this. Like you'll feel really good off this. Um, and then here's a good example of I think something that would really help you is this guy. Neutral grip. So, oh yeah, I forgot it's Andrew. So, you know the Edmonton event that Sam and I go to every year? You've probably seen
Right. Yeah.
some. Yeah, this is his event.
That's him. No shit.
Yeah. Um, yeah, so just your regular neutral bench, but with a slight incline. And that incline's probably
Right.
perfect, like 30 degrees or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will be good because this will help as well with you with that neutral or sorry, that external rotation. We can also mess around. I don't know if you've done it, but key press where it's like you twist.
Mm, yeah. I've never tried that.
That one's pretty sweet as well, but we're gonna start
Yeah.
with this guy. Um, and what we'll do here is we'll go 15 reps. So you're gonna have to like probably humble yourself a lot with the dumbbells here.
Yeah.
15 reps, and we're just gonna keep you at 8-ish, right? If you can kind of push it, 2 weeks from now you go up to a 9. 2 weeks after that you hit 10. Good, you finish off the block pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, accessories you should be going up in weight, but I look at it like we want the stimulus because like you're gonna be building strength there, but the goal is still to really push proximity to failure.
Right.
That's kind of how I look at it. So like if you had to hit if you get 4 weeks, say with this, and 4 weeks in a row and you don't hit a PR, I'm not like panicking. I'm like, oh, how your shoulders feel? Like you're like, awesome. How's the pump? Oh, amazing. Um, it's like,
That's a
are you
win.
are you hitting are you hitting how close are you like proximity to failure on average? It's like on average I'm like 8 or 9. Like I'm pretty close, and every now and then I'm actually squeaking out like a true failure at 15. It's like I think you're
Right.
good. I think you're just
Yeah.
like you're in the shit, right? You're just building. Like the strength hasn't expressed yet, so just be patient. It's coming. You're building.
Right.
So we're good. It's kind of like when people are in a calorie deficit, but the scale hasn't shown yet. It's like, how's hunger? You know what I mean? Are you tracking macro? Like, is
Exactly.
everything
Yeah.
locked in? How's your steps? Like, if everything's good, checked off, I think you just need to wait. So,
Right. Yeah. Be patient.
yeah, yeah, patience is
Yeah.
a big one.
Yeah.
So we have an incline press here. We obviously have two flat presses here. What I would love, how does your shoulder feel with dips? Because we have the machine assisted here.
I think it'd be a good time to play around with actually doing dips now. Like the
Okay.
shoulders have been getting a lot
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
I got zero pain when I'm doing flies now, which is
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay. So here's something we could play around with. So here's body weight, which would be awesome. I think we go body weight and we play an accumulation game where it's just you just look to add reps, like just
right.
accumulate more and more reps.
Yeah.
It's annoying because you'll just end up doing a shit ton.
That's what
But
I need though, man.
dude, it is, and
Especially for that workout. Yeah.
your work capacity will be awesome. Like
Yeah.
your pump will be amazing.
Yeah.
And then we can always progress these with weighted dips, right? Or pause dips or whatever.
Exactly. And that's what we're doing basically. Like we did the machine assisted for what, a month now, a month and a
Yeah.
half, and now we're going to
Yeah.
back into this because I was
Yeah.
having a lot of issues. I mean, I don't think I've ever done a dip without any shoulder pain, but it's just because I had fucked shoulders this whole
Yep.
time
Yep.
and
Yep.
never retracted from it, right?
Yep. 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 The other thing too you can consider when you're at the top of a dip, um, you can always protract.
That's been a game changer.
Okay, good. Yeah, that
Yeah,
helps. That helps.
yeah,
A lot of people don't think about that. It's hard to do
yeah,
too.
100%.
Um, okay, so with dips, you're not gonna need that much because the two sets are gonna smoke you. So again, two sets is probably more than enough here. So what we'll do is I'm just gonna get you to do this, dude. So that's it. More reps every
Okay,
week, 8 to 10. Like that's it. Two sets. Simple, right? Just fall into those
okay,
parameters and just if you can do plus one rep every week, you're good.
perfect.
You probably will still need 2 months, 2 months, 2 minutes rest or more.
Probably 2 months.
2 months. You'll need 2 months rest. So with flies, are we hitting any fly to open up your shoulders before the bench? Like, are you hitting anything that opens up shoulder like this?
I've been doing
The band?
I've been doing bands, but also what is it called, McLeod flies
Oh yeah.
before squats and before.
So good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So
I didn't write it down yet. I kind of have a ballpark of the warm-ups I've been doing based on my training sessions. I'll send it your way afterwards. You can
yeah,
always add it
please.
in.
Okay, that would be good. I'm just gonna add these right now.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, this is good. So I'm just gonna put these in here. Um, I don't know
as
how
a
much
warm-up.
you're hitting. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 to 20. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they should be pretty light too. So just
Mhm.
take whatever rest you need. Um, now this is what I'm playing, this is what I've been playing around with personally. So if you're game for it, I think we do it. Um, does your gym have a machine weighted fly or just like this type of one or dumbbell and cable? Is that pretty much it?
We got machine seated. We got two different variations of machine seated, cables and dumbbells too.
Okay, so do you have a plate loaded one or no?
No,
Okay.
no, it's
Okay.
all weight stacks.
Yeah, okay, okay, that's fine. So more like this type thing.
It's basically, yeah, exactly what's in the video.
Okay, do you know which shoulder I'm more partial to like this or the cables. The only thing with cables is I would want you seated. So this is like an easier setup. Um, so I'm more partial almost to this because I want to get you into the bench as soon as possible. But I think this could feel really good if this is actually our first exercise. So if you
Interesting.
then
Yeah.
like a hard set, like actually hard. This was you know John Meadows,
Yeah.
rest in peace. This was
Yeah.
like this was his style. Is he would hit like a really hard isolation movement before a compound.
I've
Um,
done it before and
okay.
it's a game changer.
It honestly did wonders for me. It felt really good.
Yeah.
And you could probably make the argument that maybe I just wasn't warmed up enough. I don't know, but I just felt way better and like honestly truly pushing it. Like a legit working set, right?
Right. Yeah.
Um I don't think you need much here, dude. I think in most cases, like you're like the again, like heavier stuff will go one working set, top set for now, and then
Yeah.
accessories, hard two sets, and we can always titrate up volume as we need. Because some of these exercises, again, you'll notice you recover from some of them really well, and some of them you're like wrecked. Um,
Yeah.
so it's like the stuff we're wrecked at, good. Like that just means we stay in that groove. Other ones where you're
Yeah.
like, I can go body weight dips, 10 RPE all day, dude. It's like,
Forever.
great,
Yeah.
great. Let's go, let's send it, right? Like we
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
will push it. Um, so with this, what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to do full 15 reps at 7 to 8 to start. And yeah, actually 90 seconds would be good because this is going to be really hard and heavy, but
Yeah.
it's only locally fatiguing. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
what I would also get you to do is when you are doing the fly, when you come forward, do that.
Right.
So a lot of people,
I've switched that since we talked about it.
okay, perfect. Yeah,
I'm just terrible at taking videos and you know that, so
it's all good. No, you're pretty. I mean, you do them in
I
spurts.
sent a couple, but I mean, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's all good. It's all good. This will be good to get some video on here and there from you for
Hmm.
sure. Let's get these guys out of here. And I want you to hit. So we have a fly, flat, flat, incline, decline. So we don't need. I'm not gonna put in push-ups yet, dude, just because again, I don't. I would like to see how we respond to this volume first. I know it's not a ton, but I think if we control our intensity and technique, you can get a ton of stimulus out of it, and
Yeah.
you'll
Yeah.
feel good. So what I would do is this guy. I don't know. This will again depend on how your shoulder is. Have you done these?
Yeah.
How is your
It's one of
shoulder?
my favorite tricep workouts. It's
Okay.
really good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this guy. It's gonna be fun,
Nice. Let's go.
dude. It's gonna be really fun,
I was gonna say rack me on triceps. I always love finishing a bench day with triceps
dude.
and
Do
just
it. And
racking them.
and
I
ultimately,
used
it probably won't be that fast because I'm gonna like. Why don't we just do 3 sets? Like it's triceps, so you can just send it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like
Um,
I used to always program, I would do 7 sets of like 15 reps
yeah. Right.
on the cable tricep push down after
Yeah.
bench day. And it was the best part because the
Yeah.
pump you
Yeah.
got.
Yeah. Dude, 100%. Okay, so I think we hit back day then because it'll be kind of like it'll be like what I'm gonna do is do deadlift and back basically.
Yeah.
Um, so oh yeah, let me rename this. So this will be day 2.
Yeah. Here, give me a sec. I'm so stuffed up, man.
Dude, it's all good.
All right.
Okay, let's get cooking. Okay, so what I think we actually do here, dude, is before you're probably gonna hit like I would just get you to hit your same mobility routine that you hit before squats, before deads. You probably already are, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Okay. Um, and then the other thing that I would also do is gonna be this. We'll call it your first because you're hitting glute bridges on that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Then actually, you know what? Let me change this. I was gonna put a single leg RDL before, but I think I would prefer this. Um, because your lower body should be pretty warm after that. Because you're the that routine is pretty dialed. Um, here's what I want. This guy. Sorry, you probably can't see it, eh? It's super small. You know what I'm talking
No, no,
about
yeah,
here?
I got it. Yeah.
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 So if we can do this, now the key with this is like, yeah, she's going as far forward as I would want. A lot of people stretch too far. She's close there. I would rather see you like avoid this and basically like keep shoulder down and then just go to there.
Okay.
Does that
So
make sense?
keep your
Yeah.
lat locked in place. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a lot of people think like they move forward and then they call that a lat stretch and you do a bit, but I'd rather keep the lat locked in a lot better and keep the scap down. Um
And so then minimize rotation too as well, right?
yeah. And
Okay.
it'll feel pretty good because it'll turn your lats on a lot more without dumping into your teres. And
Right.
if you dump into your teres, it just doesn't feel good, in my opinion.
Right.
Um, because then it's like a small muscle taking on real heavy weight, and then you go into
Right.
deadlifts, you know?
Before
So
deadlifting. Yeah.
yeah, so I think we should be good here. I'm gonna get you to hit this for 3 sets. Sorry, 3 sets. 12 reps. This should be at 7 to 8. 90 seconds is fine. Should be able to bang through that pretty good. And then, yeah, dude, are you excited for deadlifts?
I missed it so much, man. It's my favorite workout of all
Oh yeah?
time
Oh,
for
good.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there was a number that, like, after my last competition, there was a number that was in my head that I've been wanting to hit since,
Oh yeah.
and it still bothers me, man.
Dude, let's ramp up to it. Let's groove
100%.
it. Let's
Yeah.
let's freaking get there. So we'll start you off with 8 reps here too. My goal here with this is ultimately over the next 12 weeks is to get all of your main lifts down to like a top triple or top five. That's my goal here.
Okay.
So 5 RM, 3 or 4 RM. That's the goal with this
Yeah.
initial 12 weeks. Is kind of how I'm looking at it.
Okay.
Yeah. Something where you're like, damn, that felt fucking good. Like
Fuck
I
yeah.
feel like I squeaked out the most that I could for that little run that we did. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So, and that's all you can do, right? Um,
And who knows? We might push this through the cut as well, right? Obviously, we're
yep,
not going to be
yep.
as intense with the weights, but
Truthfully, you can. Like you shouldn't have to
right.
do,
Yeah.
yeah, you shouldn't like say fast forward 12 weeks from now, 16 weeks from now, we're like, all right, fat loss phase, dude, we're going to 10% body fat. Cool. You're not going to be 10% tomorrow. So it's like run this for another month or like month and a half at least. And then once we get into the thick of it, and we start noticing like okay performance is noticeably being affected, then we can make adjustments, but
Right.
I would just assume you're going to crush this until you can't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless of where
Yeah.
calories are. So yeah, that's a good point, is like we're not going to just change up your training just because we pull away calories. We'll be like, no dude, go hit a PR again, like keep going.
Keep going. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Stop being a bitch. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, because you'll actually feel I when I pull away calories temporarily, sometimes I feel a little bit better because my leverage has changed a little bit. Sometimes
I was gonna
mentally
say,
I'm more clear. Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the
um,
deadlift's a big thing, right? Like I was toying around with it last week because I
uh-huh.
haven't deadlifted in what, like 4 or 5 months now,
Yeah.
and my leverages have completely changed.
Yes. Yes. For me, it's squatting is so bad when I lose weight. Deadlifts I get better when I lose weight.
Oh, squatting crushes me. Like
Yeah.
that last week was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah,
I
sorry,
needed
dude.
the cows, man.
Yeah,
That's all
sorry,
good.
dude.
It's what I wanted, right?
Okay, so what I want here, um, don't know if they're gonna have a good one, so let's look on YouTube. This one might be okay. Let's see. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm gonna get you to do this. Uh, have you done B stance?
Yeah.
Okay. This chick's hers is pretty good. Because this should light up your hip. Like you'll feel the hammy. That's one of the main things, right? But
Yeah.
your glute gets smoked on this.
Yeah.
So I think you'll really like this. Like right after deadlifts too.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
like how we're really gonna hammer the hips and like finally fix this fucking issue.
I think
You know
so.
what I
I
mean?
think we'll
Like,
be good, dude. And that's why I'm
yeah,
erring on the side of I've realized for me how much how well I've done with my training while keeping volume like not low, but definitely not super high or being super aggressive with the volume, but being aggressive
yeah,
with the intensity and the technical execution. So if we do that, I think you'll be really, really happy with how you feel. And also that, because here's the thing, we all struggle to balance that feeling of like, I want to send it and push it in the gym, but I don't want to feel like broken. It's like, how do we do that? I think it's that balance. So it's like, if
yeah,
you can
yeah.
figure out what that balance is for you, and that's where I'm like, let's just err on the side of like low to medium volume and then ramp up as needed. And if we don't need
Right,
to, then we don't, right? So,
right.
okay, so B stance RDL, this will want to go 15 reps per leg, obviously, and we'll keep you at eight-ish. 90 seconds
I
should
like
be.
that one because you can still push it.
Yep.
You can still push the weight on that workout.
You definitely can. Like, because you're gonna hold one dumbbell and you can like we're gonna go 15 reps to start, so it won't be that heavy. But like if we progress you down to like a 10 rep max on this, like
Right?
kind of
Yeah,
gangster to hit like a true
yeah,
10 RM on that, like strap up, right? Like actually, so you don't have to think about grip and then just
yeah,
go.
yeah.
So okay, so we got a little bit of lats, single arm, elbow close, high pull, conventional deadlift from the floor. It's going to be very glute heavy. This will be very glute heavy. And now what I want is more back. So let's get these guys out of here. Do you have a back move? Like I have some of my go-tos that I've been loving, but do you have a back move where you're like that lights up my lats like really easily?
I got like there's a machine row there,
Hmm.
and then I'll just throw on some D handles
Yeah, okay.
and hammer that. But
Is it like a hamstring or a hammer strength, kind of like this, I guess?
yeah, it'd be similar to that. Yeah,
Probably doesn't look like that though, eh? But you put a D handle on it, and then
yeah,
yeah,
just because like the handles are like either way too wide or way
yeah.
too narrow, so I kind of just fit in
Can
between.
you take a video of that?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you put it neutral then? Do you do the dumbbell or the D
Neutral.
handle?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just put this because that's essentially what you're simulating.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So I'm gonna go 3 rounds on this because we want to hammer back. Um, what I am gonna get you to do. Actually, you know what, dude? Because this will be two arm. You know what we should do? Two sets, density sets.
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, it's gonna be so fun. Because yeah, there's certain exercises that do really well for this, some that don't. So that's why I'm always looking to see like which ones do well. This would do really, really well because it's an easy setup too, right?
Yeah,
You don't have to move around weight. It's two arms.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is good. What I would love to see here, because this is both neutral, this is neutral. What I would love to see here is like, do you guys have actually, you know what I would get you to do, dude? Supinated. Their videos like super lame. So, oh, here, this one's good. So if we go supinated, right? And for you, this is going to be hard on the shoulder because it requires so much external rotation. But really
Right.
squeeze the pinky on this.
Yeah.
And on this, you do want that stretch because that's going to like really open up the lat.
Right.
Um, so make sure you're not leaning back too far on this. Like make sure you do stay
Basically
upright-ish.
straight up as possible. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. I think you're just going to get more out of it. So seated cable. So let's go 3 rounds and let's go 12 reps here. Oh, sorry. No, I want this lighter. Go 15. I'm
Okay.
erring on the side of lighter here, like 12, a lot of 12 to 15 First of all, because I think it works, it is a great rep range at high intensity for hypertrophy. And then second of all, it gives us room to run on some of the exercises where we want to progress down into heavier sets, right? So
Right.
it's
Yeah.
like we're pouring a foundation, heavy sets of 15 over and over and over again, heavy sets of 12 over and over and over again. And then once we like pull the lever of like heavy 10, heavy 8, heavy 6, you have this like really strong foundation where now you can start to expect
Right. Yeah.
some strength from.
Yeah.
Um, 7 to 8. Whoops. And then 90 seconds should be good. You'll probably need a couple closer to a couple minutes, but take as needed. It's three
Yeah.
rounds, so that third round you'll probably need a decent rest. Um,
Yeah, but that one's more like we're not pushing heavyweight there. We're kind of looking for the range of motion with
yeah.
that workout.
Yeah. You'll get a really good contraction, but where I'm
For
more
sure, yeah.
yeah, where I'm more interested is not here for you. It's more
Yeah.
here. It's
Up
here
there,
because
yeah.
that anyone who has like external rotation challenges, it's like when you come up to the top, that's actually the hardest part.
Yeah.
So 100%, dude, I agree. It's almost like this is a weighted stretch for you, really.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so actually, I want to hit biceps on this day as well, and I think we're good here, dude, because this will be like lower deadlift support, back, back, back. I really don't think that's kind of been my go-to recently is 3 back exercises for like lats and upper back.
Right.
This isn't a ton of upper back. This is mostly like lat. This one we can play around with elbow position. So what I would almost do maybe here is not keep, whoops, not keep your elbow so tight on this one. So maybe actually have some flare. So like here as opposed to here.
Okay.
Does that make
Yeah.
sense? Um,
Yeah.
just because this will be very biased, and then this will be pretty lat biased as well. So
Yeah.
I'm
Which I
thinking
need. Like that's one of my
the
that's definitely a
lats.
limiting factor for me is my last
And
strength.
it's
Yeah.
good because they're gonna get hammered on this day anyway. So we could always play it by ear, but if I was gonna pick
Yeah.
one, I would say make this guy a little bit like maybe row like this instead of down here, just because you're already gonna smoke your lats. So
Yeah.
um,
Right.
if
Well,
that
that's the thing. I can switch it up on that machine. I don't have to go neutral grip on
okay,
that machine. I can literally just
yeah, if you can go, actually, that might not be a bad idea.
I can
Even if you can go on like a 45,
yeah. Yeah.
45 degrees. So you got like neutral,
Yeah.
pronated, like if you can go in between. But we could also mess around with pronated as well.
Well, I was gonna say I'll send a video of like every fucking place that I could hit with that machine, and we'll
Okay.
go from there. Which one feels good?
Yeah.
Which one's a lot harder, right? Like obviously I do the neutral because it feels really good. I get a good pump, but it'd be like me doing leg extensions instead of leg curls because I'm
Right.
really good at them, and
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
more curl work, right?
Yeah. Exactly. It's all good, dude. Okay. So here's what we're going to do here. We're going to get nasty with this. So again, anything where we have the rest pause sets, I want you just accumulating reps. If you have room on a day where you're like, oh shit, I should be adding weight here. This is easier. Boom, add weight.
Yeah,
But that's
yeah,
not going to come super often. What's going to be more often is you can squeak out an extra rep. So it's an accumulation progression is kind
yeah.
of how I look at
What
it.
what a difference on my shoulders adding in the dumbbell incline
Oh yeah?
curls.
Yeah, because they require
Seriously.
so much open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. I couldn't even, so the first 2 weeks, I couldn't even get into that position of doing like the incline curl. That's how much my shoulders hurt. And I
Dude.
was like, dude, I'm not getting any pumps. And that's why I never did that workout because I tried it
Yep.
so many times. I was like, I'm not
Yep.
getting any bicep
Yep.
activation here
Yep.
because I
I
had so
know.
much strain on my shoulder.
Dude, it's I have a client like that right now. I've been going to see him in person to help him out. And
Yeah,
we just had to change the angle on it and shimmy some things around and he was able to do it. But
yeah,
before that, he was like, I can't do them. I was like, yeah, no, I get that. If your shoulders like are really that tight, uh,
yeah,
it's gnarly.
yeah,
Okay, so last move here, you're gonna hit 2 bicep moves. You're gonna hit this actually twice, so 2 density sets for the dumbbell incline, and then
yeah,
three sets of 20 on cable rope curls. And you'll probably want at least a minute here. So this should finish off arms really well.
yeah,
Yeah, because it's not really 5 working sets. Like we count it as 5, but it's really gonna be uh 10 plus 3. So it's really 13.
13. Yeah.
Yeah.
It adds up real quick.
Yeah. So this I think should be money, dude. Do you have any questions on any of this?
Not at all,
Okay.
man. It's programmed. I like the programming of it because we're
Okay.
basically like you said, activating the lats at the start. Then we're
Yeah.
really using a lot of lower back glutes, and then we're just externally stabilizing
Yeah.
what we don't want to hit and hammering the lats afterwards.
Dude, exactly. It's like it's super, super simple.
Yeah,
And then we'll see how, and a lot of this, honestly, like a lot of it is testing. Like I don't know how you're going to respond. So it's like test it.
exactly. Yeah,
Let's see how
yeah,
it goes. Like it's just going to give us data. That's where like all of these subsequent phases that we go through will be, this is from a training perspective where it'll learn us a lot. So,
yeah.
okay, so delts and abs, and then we're gonna split up. We had arms in here as well, so we'll do arms. Or did you want to do arms extra? Because what we could do, you, you know what my thought is, dude, is hit this actually as normal, and then on your fifth day, if you want to do an extra fifth day, we could do a little bit of arms on there, but almost like an extra back day.
Yeah.
Like one lat move, one upper back, one bicep, one tricep. You know what I mean? Four moves, 3 to 4 sets each, lots of volume, high rep.
On
Uh,
the extra day you're talking about on the
yeah,
fifth day?
yeah, the day
Yeah,
five. Yeah,
yeah. And then I was gonna even say, dude, throw in the push-ups on that day too.
yeah, you
Why
could,
not?
you
You know what I
totally
mean?
could. Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I'll show. Okay, that's not a bad idea. Okay, so let's go. Yeah. Okay, so now we can actually push these, which is good because these are not progression type movements for you. So now what we're gonna do. Check this out, dude. Do you like laterals? Like, do you respond well to laterals?
yeah.
Okay.
Now more than ever, yeah.
Okay, dope. Do you have cuffs or no?
Yeah.
You do. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, what I think we do is we start unilateral. I'm a big fan of this. 4 sets because you can hammer these really good. Uh,
Yeah.
15 reps at 8 or higher. You don't really need much rest here, but I'm gonna say 60 seconds, and then get this bullshit out of here now. You guys have a Smith machine?
No.
Oh, you don't.
It's
Okay.
the only thing we're missing, yeah.
Yep, that's okay. That's okay. Um, what we'll do is we'll do regular dumbbell press. The only thing I'm gonna get you to do though, different than this silly guy on here, is so I love like honestly where most people do incline bench. I like to do that for shoulders.
Yeah.
So,
I'm
so
the
like
same way. Yeah.
not necessarily a 45, but like that. Like
60. Yeah. I think
yeah.
it's a 60 degree that we got at the gym. And
Okay.
I can't really get in the position of doing like a 90-degree bench
Yeah.
shoulder press. It just hurts
Yeah.
too much. So
Yeah.
I'm usually 60. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't get anyone to do it unless we're doing like a specific mobility thing. But if we're trying to like
Right.
push, then that's how I would do it. So just
Yeah.
do that there. I would go two working sets here. Um, and then what I'm gonna get you to do is work up to 12 at 7-ish. And then we'll kind of treat this as kind of the main lift for this movement, for this session. So it's like let's use this as a strength builder.
Right.
What I would do though is so yeah, so here's when I say 12 at 7, that means both sets are going to be 12 at 7. What that means in practice is if you do that correctly, the second set should be lower weight. Does that make sense? So you'll still have a
Yeah.
top set because if you do it correctly, there's enough fatigue that if you did a second set, it would be a 12 at 8 or a 12 at 9, right?
Right. Right.
So it's
Yeah.
almost like since you know that, hit the first set 12 at 7 and then be like, yeah, that was hard and heavy. Like I could squeak out 3 more. So like, pretty good. But definitely got some room to run
Ju-
and then drop 10%.
Just for context, what does your progression look like on a lift like this? Your warm-up sets and everything.
So ramping up to it?
Yeah. Like
Yes.
this, bench press.
So like pretty similar to the other ones, in regards to like how I would progress up to it. The do you mean like how many sets and like how am I selecting reps strategically and stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
So So for me, and this might honestly might differ, so I can kind of use myself as an example. My shoulders will fatigue pretty quick, especially pressing. So for me, I'm trying to get snappy with this. So what I would do is like if your top set for 12 is like, let's just say for math's sake, is 50s. So you're like, I could probably hit around 50s there. That'd be perfect for this. Then I would hit first of all, I would probably do some type of fly and banded dislocation, just to like open up shoulders and whatnot, go through my
Yeah,
T-spine stuff, all that. But
yeah,
then after that, what I would do is I would do mini sets up until 12. So I would do like, I would grab the 20s and I would do like set of 6 to 8, rest,
right.
set of 6 to 8, almost like I'm doing the density sets, right? Bunch of like little mini sets. And then I would go up to the 35s and I'd be like, okay, 6 to 8, 6 to 8, couple breaths, 6 to 8, and then rest.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And then that's how
I'd
I
like to
warm
try it
up.
out. Yeah,
That's how I would warm up for it. I know
yeah.
that like a lot of people do it differently where they just do sets of 12 all the way up. I just don't get that warm doing that. Like, so squats, I also warm up like this. So squats, if I was going to warm up to 315 for 5 on squats, I would do I actually just do empty bar once. Like I don't like one set, right? So maybe set of 10, 20, whatever. Rack it. And then I do one plate for like 3 to 4 sets. And then I do 185 for 2 to 3 sets. And then I do 225 for 2 to 3 sets. And then I do 275 for 1 to 2 sets. Like I do the same weight
Interesting.
multiple
Yeah,
times and I do it more sets the lighter it is because then there's less fatigue cost. Does that make
right,
sense?
right.
And then
Yeah,
once I get to 275 and I'm like ready to almost jump to 315, I'm like, "Oh, I'm feeling juicy." Like I just did
you're warmed up.
yeah, I did
Yeah,
150 reps basically by then, but they're all
yeah,
low fatigue reps, so I'm not tired.
right.
I'm warm.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah. Yeah, and that's basically like the only workout that I do that, and I
Okay.
should almost try it with others, right? Like I know,
Yeah.
especially squatting, because I got so many hip issues. When I hit like 1 or 2 plates, and say I go to 2 plates and I'm
Yeah.
squatting, I was like something didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I'll rack it, I'll play around with some mobility, and then I'll hop back into that 2 plates again and hit
Yeah.
it again. And
Yeah.
if it didn't feel right, I'll hit that again, and
Yeah.
then until I feel really comfortable with 2 plates, then I'll go to 3 plates.
Dude, I'm a huge fan on warm-ups. I am a huge fan of hitting the same weight over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, well, it's because we're
And
in our 30s now. we,
yeah.
we have to be.
Yeah, you just like just hit it over and over again until you're ready.
Yeah,
Like don't try and force it.
yeah,
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So that's what I do here is like I just do a ton of mini sets until I'm like, okay, I feel warm, feel snappy. And then I sometimes actually I'll even do this. All my mini sets, I'm warmed up, shit ton of reps, I'm good to go. And then I grab the 50s, which I think is probably my working set, and then I hit that for a set of 6.
right.
Like a
Yeah,
taster. It's like a little
yeah,
taster teaser. And then I
yeah,
stop and then I can assess, do they feel like snappy? Do I feel good there? And then I can kind of know like, yeah, I should send that for 12 or like that's gonna be
yeah.
way too light. And then I just go to 55s or something. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna
It's a
take
lot better than just winging your warm up, right? Like you're actually putting thought into the warm up up into your top set.
well, truthfully, it's kind of I'm kind of both, right? Because I'm kind of winging it, but I'm winging it based on my own feedback where I'm like,
Yeah,
what do I
how
need?
those sets feel. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I guess you're right. It's like it's not really winging it because you're there's feedback there.
Mhm.
Um, okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Do you guys have any cool lateral machines or not really? Just cables and
Shoulder wise, nothing. Yeah,
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I just figured if we had it, we'll use it.
yeah,
Did you see my video going around with the seated face pull thing?
yeah. I did. Yeah,
Have you tried it?
yeah.
You like it?
Back 100%. Yeah, back when I had a coach prior to this, he programmed it, and it definitely helped.
Okay, because if it didn't feel good for you, dude, don't we won't do it. But if it felt good, it's a great day to put it on delts.
Yeah, yeah. Let's hammer. I need more rear delts, anyways.
Okay. Well, and this is the thing, right? When you do it like this, you'll hit rear, but you hit a lot of medial.
That's
So
true. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like
yeah.
I do it primarily for medial because the way
Fair. Yeah,
I'm pulling
yeah.
like this. Like that's all medial, right? Almost all medial.
Right.
So this is what we'll do. So check this superset out. It's disgusting. So I know we haven't done any supersets yet, but I think this is a good one to do. So face pull, really heavy, seated face pull. So don't know why it's not coming up, but you know the deal here with this, right? So
Yeah.
seated face pull, this will go super heavy. You'll lean way back like this. And if we can get that little split second pause, like very subtle, doesn't need to be a full second, but just like really squeeze,
Yeah.
then you're going to go right into dumbbell laterals, like long arm, straight, like flex your tricep, and you're just going to torch them. So
Okay.
the rep scheme that I would love for this would be like this would be like 12 reps at 8 plus. Really they're all 8 plus like as you each week you're going to add more anyway. And then this one would be 15 reps and you're basically going to failure every set. Like every time you hit
Right.
this cuz it's the second set in the superset, right?
Yeah.
So and then you'll need a good rest after this. We'll go 2 sets here is probably all you need. Um Yeah, does that make sense? Like this should feel really good.
That'll torch it for sure. This might be my favorite workout of the week, man.
Favorite of the day. I
Like,
think you'll like
yeah.
it because, and I'm a huge fan. This is one of my things I've been loving is a single arm lateral to start the whole session off, then into
Yeah.
compound, then like delts are feeling great across the board. Now you just hammer them. So now it's just like accumulation superset. Um, and then we will want to hit rear delts here as well directly. And to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of doing a shit ton of pressing. So it's like, I think we just leave you with 2 presses and keep your shoulders
Right.
feeling really groovy
Yeah.
for the benching. I'd rather you go into benching feeling like fresh. And especially
Fresh. Yeah.
if we are going to do push-ups on the 5th day, then I think that's what we do. So, okay, so this is where we can get strategic. So with abs, what ab moves do you feel the best? Where you're like this? Do you guys have a GHD or anything like that?
No, we don't.
Okay.
What I've been toying with this week is basically like a hanging leg raise, I guess.
Okay.
Dude, I suck at those,
Yeah.
but the pump was unreal
Oh, that's
and
good. Okay.
the activation.
Okay, that's what we want.
I need more of those. Yeah.
Were you hanging like this?
Yeah.
Or that's toes to bar. That's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. We'll get there, but we're
Yeah.
not there yet.
Yeah. I don't know why they call that a hanging leg raise. Okay. You know what? We're gonna put that in anyway, but it's not. Don't worry about bringing the legs up that high yet.
That'll be the motivation to get there.
Yeah, exactly. So this is how I like to program abs right now. So hanging leg raise, GHD, any type of leg raise, captain's leg raise, anything like this, it'll hit lower abs more than anything. You'll hit all of them,
Yeah.
right? But you
Yeah.
really feel the lower abs. Um, so if we're doing lower abs, I like to superset this with like some type of oblique work or just like a crunch because the crunch will hit like upper abs.
Right. Yeah.
Um, so do you have like a crunch that you've done where you're like that one just seems to work really well? Most of them are
We
pretty simple, but
Yeah, we do have the machine as well, or you can do the cables as well.
oh, I
I've
would
always
do.
liked the cables.
You like the cable?
Yeah.
Okay, then let's do that. That's what I would do, 100%, because it's very different from the leg raise. So, um, what I would do is don't superset these together because you'll just get wrecked way too quick.
Yeah.
Um, so what we'll actually do, were you able to hit 3 sets when you did leg raises by chance or no?
Yeah, 3 sets, but it was diminishing, right? Like I
Yeah.
started with what 15 reps and went to
Yeah.
12, then to
Yep.
10.
Yep.
But
That's
yeah,
okay. So here's what we'll say to do here. I don't care how many reps you get, but across 3 sets, accumulate at least one extra rep every week. That's what I
okay.
would say. That's like perfect, I think. 90 seconds is fine. And this, I would love to be higher rep because the leg raise probably won't be. So keep this like more endurance. Like the last like 5 to 8 reps on here should be really hard.
Yeah.
And then because it's lighter, should be 60 seconds. Yeah, that should be good, dude. And then we wanted to hit rear delt. So with rear delt, this is how I like to do them. I don't know if you've done them like this. You know where the pinkies go straight out?
Yeah.
So there's so many ways I like to do them, but this is my favorite way. And you
Yeah,
can have a bit of elbow bend, but as long as you're leading with that rear delt, kind of like leading with the elbow, that's what I would do. And then here's how you're going to do it. 2 sets, activation.
nice.
Yeah, it'll be your rear delts will feel dope.
Yeah,
12 to 15 reps, 30 seconds. Beauty. And then we got abs, so you'll finish off with abs. And then we were doing arms on this day. Do you think that still makes sense, or should we just take the abs there and just, or take the arms off there and do them on? Or I guess the fifth day is like super optional anyway, right? So you might not even be able to do it for a few weeks. So we should keep
do
arms
we
here.
just throw that fifth day and like maybe some days I just add? Do you think it's gonna be too long if I add them both together on some weeks? If I go delt, abs, and arms?
That's what I'm wondering. Like I would prefer to just stop here and delete these guys,
Yeah, and
right?
then
So then
have a
we,
specific arm day.
yeah, but the only thing is that fifth day annoying? Like, is if that's what it is from like a scheduling perspective, then I would just say, hey, let's just put them, like, we can make them quick. We can do it on this day
Well,
if you want to hit arms.
but and that's what I was thinking with arms on the fifth day is like, how about we schedule it where it's not really mentally fatiguing? Like I'm doing a lot of
Oh,
cables, I'm doing
okay.
higher reps, and
Okay.
not really worried about pushing the weight.
Yeah. 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 I got you. I got you. Do you think that's what keeps you out of the gym sometimes? If you were gonna miss the day five, is like, holy shit, I got a lot of work to do at the gym, like that type of thing.
Yeah, I think it's more of like a mental barrier thinking about
Yeah.
that, and then like, which
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'll start thinking about the squat day after that, and then the the
Yep.
chest day that follows, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. No, no, it's good to know. So, uh, okay. So let's do this. No, I know exactly what you mean, dude. So here's what we'll do. So these guys are gone. This guy's gone. This guy's gone. We'll do arms, but we want to do back. So let's do one lat move. What is one lat? Well, here, this is probably the easiest lat move of all time. The easiest, like lower mental. It's just lat pull
Yeah,
down. Like, just do a lat
yeah,
pull down. Very simple. Regular wide bar, like whatever the normal grip is, right? Just your standard. Um, and you know what you're gonna do? Oh, whoops. Do activation set.
activation day,
Yeah, because
yeah,
it's like mentally you just like do a couple, you do your warm-ups, do a
yeah,
normal lat warm-ups and whatnot, and upper back, and then you'll bang this out. You'll do 2 sets and you'll be over so fast. You'll be like, oh shit, I feel great.
yeah. And we can
Uh
even throw like, I don't know if you're thinking of like two back workouts there, but like even
yeah, I
like
think too.
a chest supported T-bar row afterwards.
Chest supported would be great because then we can save your back and hamstrings for squat.
Exactly. Yeah.
Squats will be
Yeah.
coming up. So here you go. This would be good. Honestly, dude, if you're game for it, hit this.
Do the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 2 sets each. Make sure you're warm. You'll feel great.
Yeah.
T-bar row is perfect for that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
And
you'll
that's the
be
thing. Like with this day, you might as well do that activation set for like most of the workouts because you don't really have to think. You're just going in there to get a pump.
Yep, yep, yep.
Like
And it'll end up being very, very hard because the last 2 sets on this, it'll be failure. So like
yeah.
you're gonna get the stimulus, but mentally it's not that hard because everything's light as fuck.
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
it's lightweight, but the stimulus is high.
Yeah.
So um yeah, okay. So why don't we do this, dude? So I mean if you're game for it, do you want to do every single thing?
Let's try it. Yeah.
Okay,
Why not?
let's try it. And remember the progression on all these is just gonna be add reps every week. That's it. You're just accumulating.
Yeah.
Like just accumulating volume. So uh I would go 2 working sets. I really don't you we can titrate up to a third if we want. Um so there's a bicep. Um I think we keep those, or I guess we already have those in, but I just think they're probably important for you. But we could do, trying to think of a variation of an incline cable curl. Let's see.
What about
Because
like a stand-in cable curl, but like it's kind of behind you, you know what I mean? Like
that's
you're
what
kind
I'm
of,
thinking of. Yeah, like a
yeah, okay.
drag. It's like a drag curl kind of.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know if they have standing cable curl. I know exactly what you're talking about. Because yeah, that would pull. That's what I want. The arm back
Yeah.
here.
Just put a single a cable single arm bicep curls
Yeah,
and
because
that
you're
I'll
right.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You're right. It would have to be single, right?
Yeah. Probably don't have it. Yeah. Just put that first one in, man. I'll know what we're talking about.
Okay. That's weird though, because that's a relatively common move. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, so 2 sets. What will get you to do? Here, do this. 20 reps per arm. No rest. So 20, 20, 20, 20, done.
Nice. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be dope. 2 sets. Um, biceps already be warmed up too, so it'll feel really good. Let's get this guy out of here. And then what I think we do is tricep extension, but with the cable. So this guy. Yeah.
Overhead. Yeah.
Yeah, overhead, because that'll feel really good. Same idea. Let's go 20 reps. Like it'll just hurt in the best way.
Destroy him. Yeah.
Yep. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. And then
Yeah.
get rid of this guy. How do your shoulders feel on preacher curls? Like, do they like them?
Yeah. We got a machine at the gym. I got no issues.
Okay.
Actually, that's what I was using this whole time instead of actually doing the cable preacher curls. It was just a machine.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Similar setup. Yeah.
Okay. So let's finish. So 20 reps, and then rest pause. I think you can do this workout in probably 45 minutes too. Like
Yeah.
it should be pretty fun. Like
Yeah.
preacher curl, and then we already have rolling tricep, we have overhead tricep. Honestly, dude, super simple. You know what? I don't want single arm. Let's do tricep push down, but with the bar. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah.
And then 2 sets.
Same thing. Yeah.
Dude, I think this will be good.
That's gonna be sick.
Yeah. So when
That
you
might be the best workout of the week right here.
you said that about the last one.
I know, but after we program
You're
this one,
like,
I'm like,
damn it.
fuck. Yeah,
Accumulate every week except for 20 reppers. So the only ones you're adding, you would try and add weight on is these two.
yeah,
Yeah. But again, these are one of those where it's like you're probably just gonna hit the same weight for weeks. That's fine. Just make sure it's hard.
guaranteed. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
just make sure it's hard. Like we know the drill on that. It's not like there's
yeah.
crazy quick progression. Um, let me get this out of here. Yeah, dude, that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions on that?
I'm so stoked, man.
Sick.
Honestly,
Yeah, this will
yeah.
be fun. So
This is yeah.
we're gonna go 5 weeks. We'll go right to June 1.
Okay,
And then because I'm pretty sure June 1 is yeah, Sunday. So then we'll set you up for June 2nd, next
for
block
Monday.
off
Okay,
that. Yeah. Yeah. I know
perfect.
that your schedule is all over the place, but I just like the weekly schedule.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So that way I'm making updates on the weekend for you. Um, yeah, and then I'll just get your macro stuff done, and any objective notes that we want to have there. And then I got to make sure this is all updated as well for you because this won't
yeah.
be. So I can do all this after, no worries. But
Okay,
I'll clean all this up for you, and then we're good to go, dude. But
beauty.
yeah, dude, look at the pics,
Insane, eh? What a
dude.
difference.
You're lean, dude.
Yeah, man.
I
Oh
haven't
yeah, we
seen
didn't even look at these pictures yet.
I haven't seen these ones.
Yeah, I had to
Yeah.
post it the day after. Yeah,
See, dude, damn it. Now I'm like mad that I didn't get you to do arms up from the start. Cause see the delts, dude?
yeah.
Yeah. This is good. This is really good because uh yeah, dude, is that like the leanest you've been with this muscle?
Ever. Yeah.
That's so sick. Like noticeably, look at the difference. So that's March 24th. That's literally a month,
Yeah.
and that's way leaner.
Well,
So
bro, go to the first picture I posted. Like I was so I'll call myself fat because I think I was fat at that
you're a,
point,
you're
but
just a you're a thick boy.
yeah, yeah,
But this is why I was like, you're a perfect candidate to get lean because
yeah,
you have a ton of mature muscle mass. So it's like,
yeah.
let's
But
pull
the thing
back.
is, though, like when I look at that picture, I'm like, fuck, it doesn't even look like I had any muscle. You know what I mean? Just because like there
Right.
was nothing,
Yeah.
there was nothing sculpted then.
Well, dude, that's it. You can't see it. You literally
Yeah,
can't see it, dude. I had a photo. I was looking at my photos because I was doing a YouTube video about it, and I was looking at I was like, before I did my cut, when I dropped from 40 pounds down. So when I got to 215, I was like, I was so chubby and fat, and it's like I didn't look like I had any muscle, but it's like, oh, I did. I was just so fat that you couldn't see it at all. So it's like
yeah,
the
yeah.
best way to get
Like you
jacked
were
is to get lean.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And like you were strong as fuck then too. You know what I mean? Like you did have, like you said, that muscle. Like you were able to
Right.
push your workouts and everything.
Yeah.
But then you
Yeah.
look at
Yeah.
the picture and you're like, I'm
Yeah.
blown away, man. Like the whole
Dude,
process already.
Dude, I'm really impressed and honestly like very grateful for your commitment with this because it's fun when it's like
100%, man.
you draw it all out and then you just execute and then you watch the body change. It's awesome. And then the
Yeah,
goal really is now like you're gonna lose a little bit of this, okay?
yeah,
Like not much, but this will just be a touch softer. This will be just as lean. We should not lose
right,
any of that. That's kind of what we're looking
right.
at. Now, we want to be as damn close to this as we can, but you'll just get a little bit of glow, like little bit of just softness here. Okay.
Yeah,
In the mornings, you should wake up and feel great though. We should not be waking up in the morning feeling soft. You should always wake up
right.
feeling tight. Otherwise, that means we're getting too sloppy. Um, Really good lines in the upper back and on and shoulders. I can't see any in the legs, but you probably can. And then when we go to cut again, you should blow this out of the water.
I think I'll notice it the most in my quads the next time we cut down because
Yeah.
I've always had thicker legs, bigger legs,
Yeah, yeah.
never defined.
Yeah.
And like I'm slowly starting to see it right now, which is
Yeah.
insane because I've
Yeah.
never seen that.
Yeah. 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 Quad separation, there's something about it, dude.
It's sick, man.
There's something about it. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is very well done, dude. 235 to 215, 20 pounds.
yeah,
Fucking
like
sick.
that.
Cool. Yeah, so we should be riding like 215 here. So you should kind of ride this channel up here, like this line right here, 220 line.
Right.
Somewhere like around there. So
Yeah.
but yeah, should be good, dude. You got any questions for me on this?
Not at all, man. Like I said, I'm gonna send you over my warm-ups for each day
Yeah, please.
specifically and just have you run through them.
Yes, please. I want to make sure we're dialed in on that.
Yeah. And fuck, other than that, man, it's time to send it.
Hell yeah, dude.